Today is Thursday, Parashat Mishpatim. This coming Shabbat is also called Shabbat Shkalim. Typically, we call the Shabbat with the name of the parasha of that week. But this week, it has a different name, Shabbat Shkalim, and the reason for it is because we're going to take out two Sefer Torahs. Two Sefer Torah. In the first one, we'll read the parasha of the week, which is Parashat Mishpatim. In the second one, we're going to be reading a portion from the parasha of Kitisa that deals with the mitzvah of every person, every male over the age of 20, to give half of a shekel as a donation for the expenses of the daily service in Bet HaMikdash. And by each person contributing half a shekel, we get the whole of Am Yisrael to share in the mitzvot that are done in Bet HaMikdash on a daily basis. In other words, if a rich man would come and say, I will cover all the expenses, I'll take care of all the expenses for the whole year, we say sorry. Like the Pasuk says, Ashir lo yarbe ve'addal lo yam'it. The rich person should not give more than half a shekel. And even somebody who's poor should give half a shekel also. And that way everyone joins together, every half shekel together with the other half shekels, to come and to make it that it's the offerings and the service in Bet HaMikdash on the day, on every single day, is something that everyone of Am Yisrael has a share in, is able to participate in the merit of doing that. Now, why is it only half a shekel and not a full shekel? A couple of reasons are given. Number one, every person is really incomplete in a way until he joins with another person, until we join with others. That's where we gain more meaning. And in truth, you gain more meaning when you give to each other, when you interact with each other. There is more meaning. So the half a shekel indicates that we need to the half of the other person to come together and be as one. Another reason that is given is the half a shekel is also lechaper al nafshotechem, to atone for your souls. In other words, to atone for any sins or any wrong behavior that a person would have done. That tzedakah that is given, with a charity that is given, that offering that is given to Bet HaMikdash is something that will atone and clear up certain wrongdoing that the person would have done. But then, a person, no matter how off the path he is, for sure he's got some mitzvot, he's got some merits. And therefore, the half shekel you give only for that half that is wrong, but there is another half, so to speak, that has merits. Like it says, every fellow Jew for sure has done some mitzvot, has some merits. And therefore the atonement that was done is only for half. That's why you give half a shekel. So now, why do we do it specifically on the Shabbat? Because the Shabbat, we're going to be announcing Rosh Chodesh Adar. And the fiscal year in Bet HaMikdash started in the month of Nisan, on the 1st of Nisan. So a month before, they started giving the Machatzit shekel, so that when the 1st of Nisan comes, the expenses for the offerings and for the services in Bet HaMikdash is from the new donations that were given for that new year, because the year begins on the 1st of Nisan. So starting from right before the 1st of Adar, which is 30 days before, we start announcing about the Shkalim. And start announcing about this mitzvah. Now, of course, today we don't have Bet HaMikdash, but we have what's called Zecher leMachatzit shekel. In remembrance of Machatzit shekel, there is a custom to donate, to give some money for members of the family. That should be as tzedakah to protect them, as charity to protect them, and that Machatzit shekel, a major portion of it is used, or if possible even all of it, is used to support people who are dedicated to learning Torah. People who, let's say, learn Torah all day in a kollel and that type of thing. Support Torah learning is what the remembrance of Machatzit HaShekel that he used for these days is support Torah, because after all, with the absence of Bet HaMikdash, you find the Shekhinah, the divine presence, in places where Torah is being learned. So that's why during this month of Adar, many people do it on the day of Purim, they give some donations, some zecher leMachatzit HaShekel, in remembrance of the half a shekel that was given at the time of Bet HaMikdash, and for those funds to be used to support Torah learning. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'amen.